Yeah. We're live. We are alive for Q&Assault Saturdays, where my private, secretive members get to come assault me with any questions they have for their fantasy lineups or life in general. We have a slate of games today, starting at 1 o'clock, going through the night. Colts Vikings at 1, Ravens Browns at 4:30, Dolphins Bills at 8:15. Hello, everybody. We came tucked. Some kind of cod while gets me every fucking time. Good morning. Nick's late. I'm never fucking late, except for when I'm late. Yeah, speaking of that Browns game, I just want to hit y'all with like one of the more precious squares on the entire slate today. We're going to go with less than 24.5 rushing yards. And I know what you might be thinking. 24.5 is a very low number. Well, Kareem Hunt has been a very low life piece of shit player this year. Sorry, that felt personal. No need for that, but the numbers back it up. When we look at what Kareem Hunt has done, when we look at this Ravens defense more in particular, I'm more nervous about the defense than I am about Kareem Hunt not living up to expectations. The Ravens have allowed the third fewest rushing yards to running backs on the season. Over the last 5 weeks, they have tightened up the sockets. They've allowed the single fewest rushing yards to running backs over the last 5 weeks. The last time a running back topped 50 yards on the ground against them was back in week 7. That was half a season ago. Ironically, it was Hunt's teammate, Nicholas Chubb. Nick Chubb went for like 90 yards. In that same game, guess what Kareem Hunt did? Not go for 90 yards. He went for, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 yards on, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fucking carries. Sad to see, honestly. Over the last 8 games, this guy's averaged like 6 carries a game, 22 rushing yards per game. So you're going to talk about averages? The Baltimore run defense is anything but. They are ferocious. They don't let shit up on the ground. They're going to run clock with Tyler Huntley. It's going to be chew until you can't eat no goddamn more. But we're not going more. We're going less. Kareem Hunt under 24.5 rushing yards. If you're new to PrizePicks, go get you some squala. Go get you some dollars. If you sign up with BDGE promo code, if you're a first-time depositor, they're not only going to match your deposit 100%, but that's only what they're going to do. God damn it. I was on a bender right there too. Absolute bend piece. David Beckham shit. Yeah, that one's just laying there for you. It's beautiful. So go use promo code BDG. They're going to match whatever you put down, and then you have a beautiful square, and then you got the rest of the games to pick from. All right, let's get into some questions. Agreed. Chubb all the way. Yeah, I mean, it's anything but Kareem Hunt. What do we got for me? We got first week of fantasy playoffs. I hope some of y'all are on a bye. You know what's so sad? I guess we'll go into story time. Fuck it. So, all right, boom. Thank God. I didn't want to get into that story. I'm gonna let the fantasy questions take over. With Kyler getting hurt and I don't know what that means. Mike White not going to play. Who the hell do I play at QB? Carr, Tannehill, Goff, Matt Ryan, and Dalton. All right, so you got some options, and I think some of them are actually better options than you would than you're giving credit for. You need to be nicer to these men. So we have Derek Carr. He is my QB 16. Tough matchup against New England. As always, they just don't allow a lot of fantasy points to quarterbacks. Ryan Tannehill, I got down at 19. Good matchup versus LA, but like hard to trust Tannehill. Jared Goff at 17. Stingy New York Jets defense. Matt Ryan. There are some people much higher on Matt Ryan than me this week playing against Minnesota. Obviously, a very generous pass defense. And then Andy, absolutely fucking not Dalton. So I do have Carr ranked the highest. He's been playing very well over the last month of the season. I want to see if we have a status update on Quinnen Williams. Supposed to be serious, and then it was day to day, and now we're like, meh, game time decision. Listed as questionable for week 15. Won't return. So, oh, that was last week. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do here is if Quentin Williams doesn't play, I think I might play Jared Goff here. If Quentin Williams does play and plugs up that middle and gives them some real rush up the middle, I'm going to pivot to one of the first two, Carr or Tannehill. They're back-to-back in my rankings, 16, 17. I think Tannehill's a little bit lower down than me. He's got the better matchup, has a little bit of rushing upside. I just don't trust that passing offense, especially not with Treylon Burks there. This is going to be a game where they lean heavily on Derrick Henry. I wouldn't be surprised if Derrick Henry goes for like $150 on the ground. So I'm going to lean Carr there. I just think he's been playing better. We trust Higgins at all? No. I trust Higgins like I trust orange juice with pulp in it. 11-3. Team needs some help in the first round. I mean, you're 11-3. It don't seem like you need that much help. Need to pick 2 running backs, full PPR. Saquon Chubb, Pacheco, Rachaad White, Deonta Foreman. I sat Saquon last week for Pacheco. Well, I think that did work out for you. I think Saquon had a bad week. Let's pull it up. Let's pull up the whip. So we're going full PPR, right? Saquon, Chubb, Rachaad White. Man, this is a little bit tough. So I would have Pacheco as my RB1 here. The matchup is juicy. I feel like he's probably like a 70% chance to get into the end zone. I'd imagine they have a lot of goal line opportunities, and he's the goal line back there in Kansas City. I mean, he's not overly involved in the passing game, but he typically brings in like 1 or 2 longer receptions a week. So I like him as my 1. Now, the number 2 gets a little dicey. I'm not going to go with Deonta Foreman here. He's off the grid for me. Rachaad White, kind of sexy because it's PPR. However, the Cincinnati Bengals run defense is quite spicy. They've been really dialing up their shit. And in this type of matchup, it could lead to a lot of dump offs, obviously, but I don't see a lot of success happening on the ground versus this Bengals team overall. So I think he's got a nice floor. I don't really know what the upside looks like there in this Tampa Bay offense anyways. So I think I'm going to lead Saquon here. I think I'm going to lean Saquon here in full PPR. I think Chubb's probably just a better raw player in the vacuum right now, but not in full PPR. So I'm gonna go Pacheco and Saquon there. Trust Cowboys defense or pivot to Panthers or Saints this week. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pivot off the Cowboys defense. I just feel like they're a little bit too appetizing for me. I think there's going to be a big mismatch between the O-line of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the defense of the Dallas Cowboys pass rush. So I'm going to stick with the Cowboys. Olave or Pittman or Rachaad White full PPR. I actually just flipped Olave over Pittman in my rankings for this week. And then, okay, so it's a flex or Rachaad White. Man, this feels a little bit like a trap game for Chris Olave, even though the Falcons are a team that gives up a decent amount of points to wide receivers. I still think I probably trust Olave a little bit more than Rachaad White here. So I'm gonna go Olave here. I think he's got more big play upside, probably a little bit more touchdown equity. Start B-Rob over D-Mont, Bam Knight, or J.K. Dobbins. Okay, those are some good questions. B-Rob, I feel like where the fuck do I have Brian Robinson this week? I got Brian Robinson 2 spots behind David Montgomery. Philly's run defense is actually not amazing. With Jordan Davis, it's obviously a lot better. D-Mont tends to go off this time of the year, man. And I feel pretty good about him behind Justin Fields. The end of the year is where like D-Mont really, really goes crazy. And as long as Khalil Herbert's not back, I don't think he's been designated to return yet. Do we have something? Khalil Herbert to return week 16, maybe. All right. So, I mean, I'm actually going to go D-Mont here. Bam Knight or J.K. Dobbins. Dobbins coming off the monster game. Bam Knight. I like Bam Knight as a player right now. I think if you put them in equal situations, that Bam Knight probably does better. I think his matchup's a lot worse, obviously. The Lions have been really, really good against the run, where J.K. Dobbins' matchup is super good. I even think I have Bam Knight higher than Dobbins in my rankings, but the more I think about it, the more I feel like I think I like Dobbins a little bit more. He's going to lack explosiveness, but I feel like the Ravens' offense is just going to run the ball 40 times. It's going to be like 17 to Dobbins, 15 to Gus Edwards, 10 to Tyler Huntley. I think I'm talking myself into Dobbins with a Zach Wilson-led offense. Hey, PPR, you like Gus, D. Harris, or Burkhead? If Damian Harris plays, Damian Harris. If he does not play, that's super fucking close. Who do I have in my ranks here? I as much as I was like high on Burkhead for a second this week, I don't know if you could trust Burkhead at all. I think they got Benjamin on the team now, and I wouldn't be surprised if he actually like randomly plays a fucking role here. So I would go with Gus there. D. Harris, Gus. If Tyreek Hill is out this week, who should replace him in the lineup? Watson's an every week starter. You have to start Watson. It's playoff, baby. Baby. Need a flex for Ramondre, James Cook, or Watson. All right, fellas. We're going off the fucking rocker here. Ooh, Patriots downgraded Damian Harris to out against the Raiders. All right, Damian Harris is officially out. Ramondre Stevenson is questionable and practicing a limited capacity on Friday. Oh, boy. I don't feel great about him, and Christian Watson is an absolutely dynamite start, so I'm just going to go with Watson there. Pick 2, full PPR, Barkley, Monte, Pittman. Worried about Barkley this week. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about Barkley too, but I'm more worried about Monte than I am Saquon. That being said, you can roll with 2. I'm going to go Saquon and Pittman here. I know you're not feeling Matt Ryan at Minnesota, but if you had to choose him or Dalton, yeah, between him and Dalton, I would go with Matt Ryan there. It's always fireworks against Minnesota. Dolcic or Okonkwo rest of season? Ooh, I'm a little bit more confident in Dolcic's role rest of season, whereas Shiggy's still splitting time with Austin Hooper, like very, very down the middle. And once Treylon Burks comes back, I feel like everyone else is kind of left with crumbs and scraps in that offense. So I'm going to go Dolcic, especially because he gets the Cardinals this week and he probably has a good game. Butker, oh boy, we're talking kickers. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't do kickers in my rankings. I don't play in a single league that has kickers, so I can't really give you analysis here. I would probably just go with Butker. Give me the Chiefs offense. Got waived? Question mark? Yes, he's gotten waived from 2 teams thus far this year. I believe he got claimed by the Texans, and then they elevated him. Or am I a moron? The Saints have. Oh, never mind. I'm stupid. Houston waived. The Saints claimed him. I thought it was the other way around for some reason. No, did not get waived again. He was on the Houston Texans, so I got that wrong. Regardless, though, I'm not going Burkhead over Gus or Damian Harris. But Harris is out, so I'm not going him over Gus. Dobbins, Chubb, or Pacheco need 2, 1 PPR. Pacheco for sure, and I'm going to roll with Chubb here. Miracle already down because of C-Mac. Yeah, we'll just get the biscuit for Driscoll at tight end over G. Wait, what? You're allowed to play quarterbacks at your tight end position? Yeah, I would highly suggest doing that for sure. No reason for this. I guess it is Q&Assault. You motherfuckers. Only hate the home. Don't you know you love her when you let him go? Yahoo has him as a tight end. Yahoo has Jeff Driscoll? Are we talking about Jeff Driscoll, like the Texans quarterback? You play tight end. Did I miss something? Have I just not been doing my job this week? Can't be tripping this much, right? The Texans have been using him as a short yardage and red zone option in recent weeks. He's qualified as a tight end in some leagues, makes him a viable. Oh, okay. Or over Gerald Everett. Yes, sir. No, sir. You guys are delayed on me, so everything I say, you guys like respond to comment wise 15 to 20 seconds later. So I don't even know what you're talking about anymore. Wow, interesting. All right. Well, he came off a big week, 7 for 36 on the ground, also passed the ball for 38 yards and a touchdown. That's a nice little stat line right there. That being said, though, I still would prefer Everett at tight end. I'd prefer Everett against the Titans, which are an abysmal pass defense. Okay, old Saint Nick, are you a big Christmas guy? Look at lights, make eggnog, and watch Christmas movies. If so, rank your top 3 Christmas movies. All right, so am I a big Christmas guy? Honestly, I'm not. It's kind of fucked up, I guess. I'm like very indifferent towards Christmas at this point in my life. Typically, it sneaks up. Like I've been like a full-time fantasy person for like 6 years ish now, and Christmas always happens to be, until they change the length of the season, championship week or semifinals week. Usually championship week, I think. So like I'm so in tune with what's happening in fantasy, and I'm so like in my work that Christmas takes such a secondary place in my life during that point of the season that I like forget it's Christmas until my mom will hit me up and be like, "Hey, we're going to aunt and uncle's house, this aunt's house for a Christmas Eve." And I'm like, "What? When is that?" And she's like, "Right now. Like you should be on the train." I'm like, "Fuck." I love Christmas lights though. Christmas tree smells are my favorite thing in the fucking world. I got to get us a tree for the office or at least my apartment. Eggnog, I think is disgusting. Christmas movies, don't hate them, but I listen. I don't watch Christmas movies at this time of the year. I put movies in the same category, like good movie or bad movie. If you're a bad movie, if you're like a good Christmas movie but a bad movie, I'm not watching you because I just don't want to watch a bad movie. You know, like I like Elf, Home Alone. What other fucking Christmas movies are there? I don't know. Yes, I'm the Grinch. Great move, great film. Full PPR need one to flex. Godwin, DPJ, Char, Shark, Rashad White, Deonta Foreman. All right, so that's where like the Tampa Bay offense comes into play here, and for me, it's close between Rashad White and Chris Godwin here because the Bengals defense is good and they don't allow a lot to wide receivers. I actually want to see where they rank against slot wide receivers. Oh, Cincy is good against slot wide receivers. Third fewest fantasy points per game allowed against slot wide receivers. New England first, Pittsburgh second, Cincy third, Jets fourth, the Atlanta Falcons fifth, but they still allow a high percentage relative to the other positions. Yeah, so that's not great for Godwin. I actually think that's probably closer between White and Foreman. I'm gonna go Rashad White there. Half PPR. Now that we're benching T's ass and Damian Harris is out, gross flex play, Chris Moore, Elijah Moore, Burkhead, Dulcich. Bro, if Nico Collins and Brandon Cooks are out, Chris Moore is kind of really sexy. He will not play against the Chiefs. I'm pretty sure Cooks is for sure out. Yes, sir. That makes it pretty easy for me, to be honest. I'm gonna go with Chris Moore here. Bengals don't really play pass heavy teams, though. That's fair. They're just a good defense regardless. And I know Tampa's pass heavy, but they're not pass it well. You know, like they're a difference. Nicholas, I'm coming for that 2-2 spot. I'll see you for New Year's. Yeah. I'm actually really interested to see if the two people who make it the top two in the bash actually come out to New York for New Year's. So we rented an Airbnb originally. That was like a cool ass loft and planned to throw a party there for New Year's Eve. And then the guy messaged me and was like, you need to have the like one, he was like, absolutely no parties. We have a very strict no party policy here. Which I was like, whatever, fuck it. They all say that. But he was like, I need the information of the people staying in the place. And I was like, I don't know the two people that are actually coming. We're flying them out for a work event, whatever, a work event. And he was like, I can't rent this to you without having like the hard information for the people. And I'll be checking when they get there. So when I wasn't able to give it to him, he was like, I have to cancel this. So there's not really a lot of options that are like reasonable to rent out. So I got the place I got, the Airbnb I got it's not party centric, but it's in a fucking amazing area downtown in Greenwich Village, or the West Village, I guess. It's actually right by my apartment. So maybe I'll hang out with you guys down here. But I'm curious to see if people come, because I'm assuming like, okay, the top two guys are people that are like older, 40 years old, 45 years old with family. Like, are they really going to be like, yeah, I'm not going to spend New Year's Eve with my family. I'm going to go to New York and hang out with this fucking weirdo that does YouTube videos. I don't know. Just a thought. You requested off PC already. The odds of you making it, I feel like, are so small. But I really respect the commitment here. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Doobie doo bop. Any other questions? So I went to a coffee shop this morning, and it's right across the street from my apartment, and there's a cute girl working behind the counter. And I went in there last weekend, same day, I think, Saturday mornings. So last weekend, I ordered like a large hot drip coffee, and she has a European accent. So she was making fun of me. Like, apparently, I guess like Europeans think like drip coffee is shit. That's why they all like drink Americanos if they want to get the caffeine. But I was like, I feel like espresso is like fake caffeine. She's like, no, you got to get like the double fucking espresso. It actually is like 4 times the caffeine. I didn't know what she was saying. I was kind of enamored by her accent, to be honest with you. But I was actually in a coffee shop with a friend of mine that was a girl last weekend. When I went in there this weekend, the girl was working there by herself. And I was like, yeah, you were like making fun of me last weekend, so I'm going to go with your suggestion. She whipped me up like an amazing drink, and I was flirting with her a little bit. You know, we were chatting back and forth. But I didn't want to be pushy, so I didn't like ask for a number or anything. And then I left, and I was like, went back to my apartment, which is across the street, and I was like, fuck, probably should have asked her out. Should have dropped the number or seen what she was doing after her shift. And then, and I'm back in my apartment. I'm like, fuck, you know what? I'm just going to go in there and drop the number for her, say something stupid, make a joke. I got down to the stairs of my apartment before I came into the office, and I look back in there. I'm such a coward. I'm such a pussy. There was like, at this point, by the time I was going back down there was already like 8 people in the coffee shop. And I was like, man, I took a huge L this morning. I was a little too nervous to go in there and just like hit on this girl in front of like 8 new people that were there. What if she hated me? What if she didn't actually think I was cute? What if I only thought, what if she had a fucking boyfriend? What if she had a husband? She didn't have a husband. She didn't have a ring. Whatever. Fuck you guys. We got another fantasy question. With Kyler getting injured, who should I start? Dak is on my bench, or go with Trevor Lawrence, Russell Wilson, or Ryan Tannehill? Ooh, wait. Why do you have Dak on your bench? I feel like that's crazy talk, right? I got Dak like up at QB5. Definitely Dak for me. I got Dak at 5. I got T-Law down at 10, but even that feels high going against the Dallas defense. The problem is, all these like mid quarterbacks, like you got T-Law against Dallas, Rodgers against the Rams, Watson against Baltimore, all of like the ones that are typically in that like QB 8 to like 13 range have really tough matchups this week. Derek Carr, Jared Goff, Brady. But yeah, I'd definitely go Dak here. Hell yeah. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to walk in there when I get back. As soon as I got to film something after this in like 5 minutes. After I get off here, me and Jack are filming big content. Then I'm fucking heading down there and I'm embarrassing myself. This is the type of support system I need. Just drop her the YouTube channel. Like, hell no. It's way too embarrassing. You guys don't like understand. I genuinely don't like being known as someone who does like YouTube videos or TikTok videos. It's especially living in New York City, 99% of the people that do what I do, or at least are like trying to do what I do, just give it such a terrible name and look. Like I will never in a billion years. I cringe at the word influencer. I fucking hate that word so much, and I hate that people call me that. I will never. I don't tell people I'm a YouTuber or like a fucking social. I tell people I'm in marketing for the most part. I struggle with telling people what I do. I just tell people I'm in marketing or I'm in sports media. You know, it's like just drop her the YouTube channel link. Like, absolutely not. Sometimes if my sister be pissing me off, I drop her my Patreon link. You know, if she's like, "What are you doing?" I'll just drop the Patreon. We don't actually have Patreon, so our membership site. I'll just drop her links to like something that's paywalled. Be like, "You want to talk to me? Fucking pay up." You know, it's really that's this kind of shit I get off on. Never, I most of the thing I can't do something cringy unless it's like really ironic. Like I absolutely fucking hate using emojis. Any emoji I've ever used in the last like 10 years, I feel like has been ironically used. If I'm ever like telling someone that I do social media or like dropping a paywall link, it's ironically. No, I don't think anyone's ever found it funny when I do it, but I always find it funny. It's about what I fucking want, you know? Damn, why does this always turn into event session? You guys got to keep hitting me with fantasy questions. Otherwise, I do this shit. I have no control over my brain. All right. Well, the fantasy questions seem to have dried out like my fucking game. So we're going to drop off here. Make sure you go hit Prize Picks. This line is just absolute cream. It's cream at the top of the double espresso that this girl made me this morning. 24.5. We're going less. We're going less than 24.5. Go sign up on Prize Picks with the promo code BDGE, and you will be a happy camper by the end of this evening. And that's it. Love you. Goodbye.